joined by Maruf Raza on the broadcast. Maruf, thank you for making time and speaking to us. A very, very important dialogue is taking place between the delegations of Russia and Ukraine, while experts have believed and they've said that nothing much can be expected out of it. But are you hopeful that this will yield into a breakthrough?
Well, everyone's hopeful that there would be a breakthrough and the end of the current crisis. But I think that's hoping for a bit much because the maximalist position that most Ukrainian representatives are taking, which means that Russia should completely withdraw and leave their country and call off their military operations, is not what Kremlin or Moscow is going to accept. The second thing is Russia's maximalist position is Ukraine should lay down its arms and a change of government should be acceptable. That is again not acceptable to the Ukrainians. And I have seen historically that whenever such peace talks take place, they take several days before a kind of mutually acceptable agreement is hammered out. So let's not expect any breakthrough today, but hopefully by the end of this week, there should be a reasonable breakthrough. To me, my assessment is that in all probability, Russia is going to hold on to the territories it has occupied. And so we could see the emergence of an East-West Ukrainian divide. Interestingly, geographically, divides are based on geographical boundaries. And there is a river that runs through Ukraine. And Russia might try and occupy those positions east of the river. It has hold on some major areas already. And we might see an East Germany, West Germany type situation that might emerge.
All right, Maruf, another important development, Ukraine has asked the EU to include them in the bloc. If I'm not wrong, it was Ukraine's appeal to the US to include them in NATO that angered Putin, and which is why we see what is happening today. Why do you think Ukraine wants to be included in the EU? Because the latest update that we are getting is that EU is saying that there is a quote-unquote different opinion on enlarging the bloc.
See, the NATO and EU are both using euphemisms to basically not upset Russia beyond a point. The fact is that when the Cold War ended, Ukraine was sitting on nuclear weapons. It was asked to abandon those weapons, hand it over, and look out and accept an arrangement which would guarantee the security of Ukraine collectively, both by NATO, United States, and even Russia. In fact, strangely, Russia at one stage was even toying with the idea of joining NATO. It was again NATO that developed cold feet. I feel NATO is a highly overrated organization with no spine of its own. It has given Ukraine a lot of assurances, but it has not stood up where it was counted and it was required to stand up. And I don't expect them to come in now, neither the EU to come in. You see, all of them have got so used to the peace dividend and enjoying a sanitized life in more ways than one that they don't want to dirty their hands. And Ukraine, tough fighters as they are, have been led up the garden path, and they now have to revisit what are their expectations from the world. All of Europe is going to revisit its defense expenditure and calculations. Germany has already made an announcement to that effect. But I think Ukraine is also going to do that. And also, where is it that Ukraine's future security and safety will come? I don't think NATO per se is an organization they can bank upon. They are overrated, overpaid, and over exaggerated in their ability to deliver. Where Ukraine's come is it will have to create its own security and its own investment. And it's a rich country. Don't forget, it's the granary of the world in many ways.
Right.
And it's got many other minerals that it can sell. The point is not to expect, and there are lessons for the world from how America and EU has behaved and NATO has behaved. So anybody expecting America to come and pick up your tab, you're mistaken.
All right, thank you so much, Maruf Raza, for helping us understand the developments that are unfolding in Ukraine at the moment and the ramifications of it.